Hey everyone, welcome to George's Library. My name is George, and today I want to talk about The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. LeGuin. So, The Left Hand of Darkness has a reputation that almost works against it. It's often introduced as the classic sci-fi novel about gender, which is true, but also a little misleading, because if you go into it expecting something loud, provocative, or plot-driven, you might initially feel a bit lost. This is a quiet book, a patient one, and I think that's very intentional. When I started reading it, I had to adjust my expectations very quickly. The story follows Guin, an envoy sent to a distant planet called Guin, whose inhabitants are ambisexuals. Most of the time, they're genderless and only take on sexual characteristics during brief periods. Guin is there on a political mission, but what the book is really interested in is misunderstanding. Cultural, emotional, and deeply human misunderstanding. In fact, part of the experience of reading The Left Hand of Darkness is feeling slightly uncomfortable, never fully oriented, never quite sure you're reading people correctly. That's exactly how Guin feels too. He's constantly misinterpreting the world around him, projecting his own assumptions onto a society that simply doesn't work the way he expects it. And what really stands out is how restrained the book is. LeGuin isn't trying to convince you of anything through speeches or big revelations. Instead, she lets ideas unfold through small moments, pauses in conversation, failed alliances, quiet betrayals, long stretches of travel and silence. And that brings me to the heart of the book for me, which is Estraven. The relationships between Guin and Estraven is one of the most emotionally subtle and rewarding dynamics I've ever read in a science fiction book. It's not built on grand declarations, but on trust that develops slowly and often painfully through shared hardships. Their journey across the ice is where the novel really opens up emotionally and philosophically. Those chapters are cold, literal and metaphorical, but also strangely tender. They strip everything back: politics, identity, even language, until what's left is just two people trying to understand each other. And this is where the book really clicked for me. The Left Hand of Darkness isn't asking, what if gender worked differently, as a thought experiment. It's asking something much more unsettling than that. How much of our understanding of others is shaped by assumptions we don't even realize we are making? Reading this now, decades after the publication, I was struck by how contemporary this still feels. Not because it offers answers, but because it embraces uncertainty. LeGuin is comfortable sitting with ambiguity, with contradiction, with the idea that understanding someone else might always be partial. That said, this won't be a book for everyone. The pacing is slow, the politics are dense, some chapters read more like anthropology or myth than narrative fiction, but for me, I think that's part of its power. It feels less like a story you consume and more as a world that you spend a bit of time in. By the end, I didn't really feel like I reached a clear conclusion. I felt like I'd been changed slightly, quietly, without realizing exactly when it happened. And honestly, those are the books that stay with me the longest. If you're curious about science fiction that's less about spectacle and more about empathy, perception, and the limits of understanding, The Left Hand of Darkness is absolutely worth your time. Just make sure you meet it where it is and not where you expect it to be. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Meanwhile, stay safe, be kind, and keep on reading. I'll see you next time.